This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
One church in our area will mark a major milestone this weekend. We'll tell you all about the special service taking place. Good evening, and thank you for joining us at FYI. I'm Lisa Sugart in for Ken Cara. Janine Mazurkevich will join us later with another great decorating idea in What's the Sense. And Standard Speaker Sports Editor Dave Seaman is here to preview this Friday night's matchups. But first, we begin with our headlines from FYI and the Standard Speaker. State police believe that Eric Frayne is in the area they are searching and confirm that there have been sightings by law enforcement, but at a significant distance. They say Frayne was wearing black clothing at the time. That was the latest information released during a 3 o'clock State Police news conference as the search enters its 12th day. State Police Lieutenant Colonel George Bivens said they have recovered some items, including empty Serbian cigarette packages and soiled diapers, which are now being tested. Frayne is accused of killing Corporal Brian Dixon and seriously injuring Trooper Alex Douglas at the State Police Barracks in Blooming Grove Township on September 12th. State Police thanked residents for their cooperation and continued support. They're asking residents for any surveillance video that might show the suspect and for information on any vacant homes in the area. They also want to talk with anyone who saw Frayne's Jeep prior to the September 12th shooting. Now, the tip line number is 866-326-7256. Meanwhile, a $175,000 reward is still being offered for information leading to Frayne's arrest. Closer to home, Hazleton City Council unanimously passed a resolution last night that would give residents a say in a proposed police tax for the city. The resolution authorizes the city to place what is called the Police Protection Tax Referendum on the next available election ballot. That vote came after council heard from audience members on both sides of the proposal. Some questioned the financial ramifications of a new tax, while others asked if the current police contract could be revisited to consider supplementing the full-time force with part-time officers. The ballot question would allow city voters to decide whether or not the city should levy an additional $1 million in real estate taxes. The additional money would expand the city's current force from 38 to 48 officers. Meanwhile, 19 police officers also asked council to place the matter on the ballot. Officers worry that excessive overtime and a high call volume could jeopardize public safety and well-being of the officers. Council President Jack Mundy said council would have the final say since the referendum question would be non-binding. The question now is whether that referendum would actually appear on the ballot. If it is too late to have its place on the November ballot, the question would then be placed on the ballot for next year's primary election. Mahanoy City Police are investigating a stabbing that occurred yesterday afternoon. 20-year-old Joseph Lumina suffered a stab wound to the left side of his abdomen. The incident happened just after 3 at 431 West Center Street. Police said Lumina's injuries were not life-threatening. The ribbon will be officially cut tomorrow on the now complete Broad Street Corridor project. According to the Greater Hazleton Chamber of Commerce, which has been involved with transportation issues in the Greater Hazleton area for years, the ribbon will be cut tomorrow morning at 11:15 a.m. at the intersection of Broad Street, Diamond Avenue, and Route 924. Motorists are advised that there may be traffic delays in that area for about a half hour due to the road closure to allow for that ceremony. The $27.5 million project began in December of 2010 and resulted in 3.5 miles of newly expanded highway from West Hazleton through the city of Hazleton. Again, there may be traffic delays in the area of Broad and Diamond and Route 924 tomorrow at 11:15 a.m. to allow for the official ribbon-cutting ceremony of the Broad Street Corridor project. The Luzerne County Transportation Authority has a new interim director. The board voted unanimously yesterday to name Norm Gavlik to the interim post effective immediately at an annual salary of $80,000. Gavlik, who is the LCTA's Human Resources Director, was one of 2 internal applicants for that job. He'll continue to work in HR as well. Gavlik takes over the post that had been held by Stanley Strelish. Strelish is suspended without pay while he awaits trial on fraud charges in the so-called Ghostwriter scandal. Former State Senator Joseph Grzenda of McAdoo died on Monday at the age of 77. Active in his community and politics his entire life, Grzenda served as state senator from 1977 to 1981, representing the 29th senatorial district, which included Carbon, Schuylkill, and Monroe counties. Prior to that, he was elected to the Hazleton Area School Board and McAdoo Borough Council. Our sincere condolences to the family and friends of former Senator Joseph Grzenda. Congressman Lou Barletta is urging residents of the 11th Congressional District to dispose of their unwanted, unused, or expired medications by participating in National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day this Saturday, September 27th. Sponsored by the Drug Enforcement Agency, the program's designed to remove surplus medication from circulation and preventive use. Barletta said drug overdoses are the leading cause of injury deaths in this country, according to the Centers for Disease Control. This Saturday, police departments, shopping centers, and other locations are participating in National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day. To find a nearby location, you can call the number 800-882-9539, or you can also visit the DEA's website. Well, the weather has certainly cooperated and the people have turned out for the 159th annual Bloomsburg Fair. Thus far, more than 216,000 people have visited the fair, 12,000 more than last year's total, and it's only Wednesday. Tuesday's attendance was 35,338, and if you're heading to the fair tonight, entertainer Chris Young takes to the Toyota Grandstand at 7:30. The fair, famous for its food, entertainment, animals, and displays, runs through this Saturday, September the 27th. Well, this week marks the beginning of a new year for members of the Jewish faith. Rosh Hashanah, which celebrates the birthday of the world, will be celebrated tomorrow and Friday. 2 days are spent in synagogue worship as the faithful ask forgiveness of others for any hurt they may have inflicted. A happy and blessed Rosh Hashanah to all our viewers who are celebrating. And one church in our area is marking a major milestone with a special service and a celebration, and you're invited. This Sunday marks the 130th anniversary of St. James Episcopal Church in Drifton. A special service will be taking place and also a special breakfast at this beautiful home, the Sophia Cox home in Drifton. With me is Karen Isak. She is the administrator of the Sophia Cox Foundation. This is a beautiful home, and the public will get an opportunity to see it this Sunday. But first, we want to begin, I guess, with 130 years for St. James Church as well.
Yes, it's true. Sophia Cox actually built St. James Church. She it originally cost $10,000. Can you imagine? No. And the first, actually, to go back, the first Episcopal service ever held was held at the Eckley Schoolhouse, where the museum now sits in Eckley Miners Village. But in 1858, Mr. Foster, who was part of the people that put Eckley Miners Village together, founded the first parish of the Episcopal Church and in Eckley, and that was constructed. That's the Episcopal Church that is over there now, but that is not the original. It was constructed in 1859, but it came down in 1937. So the one that is there is the one from Whitehaven. They built exactly the same church. St. James in Drifton was considered a mission station to the church at Eckley. And then when Eckley's church closed, St. James became the major Episcopal church in the area. The church was inspired by a St. James church in Philadelphia. Now, what people need to come and see is a beautiful Tiffany window that is dedicated to Daniel Cox, memory of Daniel Cox, and the mosaic tile, which was brought in from England. And also, there's just so many little gems around the church. You know, the church was elegant and simple, and it was designed that way. But if you look around the lights, you'll see this beautiful, beautiful filigree gold all around it and on the altar. So I think people should come and if they just want to come and see the church. Following, we're going to have a light breakfast here at the Cox House. I think it's very appropriate since Sophia was instrumental in getting the church going and supporting it.
This is wonderful. We have so much history right in our own backyard, and we take it for granted. So the service will be taking place this Sunday at 9 a.m., and then the breakfast here. And this home is unbelievable. You showed me throughout this. So this is also being restored and will soon be available to the public as well.
Right. Yes, it will be. We're going to have events here, and we're going to have classes, actually, blacksmithing classes, engraving classes, lace making, a lot of the throwback skills that so many people have lost today. We're even thinking about doing some masonry eventually. We have a lot of people that are interested in teaching, and so we'll be advertising in the paper, and I would say probably next summer it'll really take off.
Wow, I was very impressed walking through this. So everyone has the opportunity to come out this Sunday, 9 o'clock at the church service, if they choose to do so, and then over here as well. Why should they come, Karen?
Well, I think that, first of all, just to see the St. James Church is just beautiful, and to enjoy the fellowship there. The people there are great. And then following the service, to come on down and have an opportunity to see this lovely home. I think it'd be a great, and have a cup of coffee and a bagel and a sweet roll.
You will definitely be impressed, and you will not believe how things have been preserved in this home. It's beautiful. So again, that's this Sunday, 9 o'clock, St. James Episcopal Church in Drifton, right on Route 940, and then over here at the Sophia Cox home for a special light breakfast following. Everyone is welcome. Well, coming up, Janine and Tamara have another great decorating idea, and it's Dave Day. Dave Siemens here with his take on Friday's football matchups.
This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
We're going to do a how-to here on Wednesday with Tamara at the Sage Exchange in downtown Hazleton. And it's the change of the season, and we're looking for some projects to do with the frost coming. All of our flowers are dying off, and it's time to move everything indoors.
Right, and what I found so awesome is it's an upside-down herb garden.
Okay.
So everybody's garden, they're all dying off, they're drying their herbs, but this is a good way to keep it alive through the winter, and it's going to look really cool hanging in your kitchen.
All right, so how do we do this? People are watching the segments, they want to know how to do these things.
Right, a lot of the segments I kind of rushed through, but I'm going to try to explain how to do this really fast.
Okay.
What I did is I went to Lowe's and I bought these plastic containers, and I chalkboard painted them.
Okay.
What you're going to do is you're going to put a slit, a crisscross slit in here. You're going to take your herb and you're going to push it through. You got to kind of really open up the hole.
Okay.
And you're going to push this through as best as you can. I don't want to waste time, but they'll end up looking like this.
Okay.
Then you're going to get some potting soil.
Now, is there certain soil you should be using?
Just potting soil.
Okay.
You're going to fill it up. You're going to cap it, but that's open so you can water it.
Okay.
Okay, you can put holes in here. So that's the next step.
Okay.
You're going to put a wire in it.
All right.
Okay, so as these are hanging, you can use a curtain rod, you can use anything, but I'm going to use an old bicycle rim.
Neat.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take burlap. This burlap ribbon actually has wire in it.
And you love your burlap.
I love my burlap. And I'm going to just go around the tire to cover up. I didn't want to take the rubber off of it just because it's more sturdy that way. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go all the way around my tire.
Okay.
With whatever you want. You want to use fabric, whatever you want to use. Then what you're going to do.
So you're going to cover the entire wheel with the burlap. Okay.
Right. Then you're going to get little hooks.
Okay.
And you're going to hang these.
That's neat.
And I'm going to finish this, and I'll show you what I finished with it and how it looks. I'm going to actually hang it in my kitchen. And then, being that it is chalkboard paint, you can write on it,
right,
you know, what it is. Sage, of course, sage.
Sage Exchange.
Rosemary, you know. But you could put as many as you want on it, but really it's a cool way to keep it, especially in your kitchen. They look really pretty hanging.
And it will smell amazing.
And it's all fresh.
Again, the Sage Exchange has a website. They are on Facebook, and she is located here in downtown Hazleton, in the heart of the city of Hazleton. Next week, we'll have another how-to project for you right here on FYI in your community.
Time now for FYI News 13 weather.
Taking a look at the beautiful Sophia Cox house in Drifton on this beautiful day. Here's the forecast from the National Weather Service. For tonight, a chance of showers mainly after midnight, cloudy skies, low getting down to 52 degrees. Tomorrow, rain is likely mainly before 5 p.m., otherwise cloudy with a high of 61. Thursday night, there is a chance of rain before 8 p.m., cloudy and with a low of 47 degrees. Then on Friday, the sun breaks loose, a high of 71 degrees. Friday night, clear skies, low around 50. Saturday, a beautiful sunny day with a high of 75. Saturday night, clear with low temperature getting down to 50 degrees. And Sunday, more of the same, sunshine with a high of 75 and an overnight low of 53 degrees. Time now to find out if your lottery tickets are winners. Get them out. The daily number 530, the big 4 5723, Quinto 40545, and Treasure Hunt 4, 12, 18, 19, and 25. Good luck.
This is FYI News 13 Sports.
Well, it's Dave Day, but it's Dave and Lisa instead of Dave and Kenny because Kenny's off today. So Dave, we're here to talk high school football. Hopefully you will guide me through it. And who would have thought before we get into that in years gone by when the two of us were going to church at St. Mary's in Beaver Meadows, we are distantly related cousins as well. So who would have thought we'd be sitting here doing this?
Well, maybe I would have because I've always liked sports. I didn't know about your sports expertise, but you have had to wing some sports through the years through radio and TV, and you'll do a fine job.
Yeah, no sports expertise. I don't claim to have that, other than the fact that I'm a big Penn State fan. That's the only sport expertise I claim. Let's talk high school football. Big week last week in high school sports. Another big weekend coming up this weekend. I guess let's start out. I personally was at the North Schuylkill Marion game. How about that? I was actually at a game to see that game, and right off the bat saw that on the kickoff Marion ran it back, and I thought this is going to be a great game. Unfortunately, they came up on the short end of the stick, but North Schuylkill undefeated.
North Schuylkill is a very balanced team too. Marion has a lot of talent this year too, but eventually North Schuylkill kind of wore them down. They have pieces. They had one of their top players, Major Jordan, was injured last week. Other players stepped up for North Schuylkill. Like you said, Marion hit them right off the bat with a kickoff return by Nico Augusti. Seemed to give them momentum, but eventually that momentum was short-lived, and North Schuylkill pulled away for a big win.
Well, I'm hoping Marion comes back and can rally because that was a good game. It was a tough game. But North Schuylkill now, they're in a big matchup this weekend.
Yeah, they play Monomoy area this week, and I think the Golden Bears are one of the surprise teams in the area this year. They won 3 out of their first 4 games. 1-point win at Minersville last week. Again, that's the second win they've had on the road this year. They also won at Schuylkill Haven. So the Golden Bears under Dave Holman are really a surprise team, and North Schuylkill better not look past the Bears.
That should be a very interesting game. Let's focus now on the Hazleton Area High School Cougars, still looking for their first win with their new coach, Mike Brennan, but they're improving every week, Dave.
Yeah, last week they had a lead at Williamsport. They had some momentum on their side. Eventually, Williamsport caught up and pulled away at the end. But the Cougars, again, showed some good things. And I think Coach Brennan would be happy that they're continuing to make strides. I don't think there's any visions of grandeur, that they're going to win championships right off the bat. It's a process, and he understands that process. He's got to get his players to buy into that process, and I think they are. They've played with enthusiasm every week. They have a chance this week against Pittston area to get into the win column, a team that they've had success with in the past. So hopefully the Cougars can pull one out this week.
They just need that one win to get their confidence boosted, and I think that'll help to propel them then past some other teams as well.
I think so, because there are some hard teams left on the schedule. Crestwood's still out there next week, Wyoming Valley West, Berwick. I don't know much about Daniel Boone, but they're out there as well. So it's a tough schedule, but as long as you can see improvement from week to week, I think Coach Brennan will be very happy with that.
And who are some other teams that maybe we should watch this weekend that's going to be some hot matchups?
Crestwood, again, they've dominated teams. They've been arguably the best team in the area. I mean, North Schuylkill's had a fast start, but Crestwood has been dominant. And they played Berwick and Abington Heights to start the season. They've been very good. Tamaqua had a big win last week in overtime against Schuylkill Haven. Shenandoah Valley looking to get into the win column a little bit. So a lot of exciting times in high school football this season.
All right. Well, Dave, we survived the first one here. You survived putting up with me on this. Kenny will be back next week, of course, to tell you all about it, and he'll have his Cole scale to tell where everybody falls into place. So we'll see how all the teams do this week.
That sounds like a plan.
All right. Dave Seaman from the Standard Speaker.
It's Wednesday, and here's some delicious alliteration. It's signature steak night at Bottlenecks. All of their signature steaks are only $9.95 plus bottomless soup and salad for only $2.95.
Good evening, everyone, and here's tonight's Talk of the Town report. First tonight, members of the Tamaqua Volunteers Community Initiative Group are holding their monthly donation drop-off and free community giveaway this Saturday, September 27th. The event is held at the M&M Self-Storage Facility. Items can be dropped off from 8 to 9 a.m., and Tamaqua residents can enter a drawing for items beginning at 9:15. For info, call 570-668-1234. And finally, St. Peter and Paul Lutheran Church, located 8th and Alter Streets in Hazelton, will be holding a Tricky Tray fundraiser Tuesday, September 30th. Doors open at 6, drawing is at 7. The event is sponsored by the Greater Beneficial Union. That's tonight's Talk of the Town. News 13 would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Joseph E. Gerzenda of McAdoo. Funeral is Friday at 9:30 a.m. from the Stanley E. Anilowski Funeral Home. Friends may call Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m. Thomas J. Charnigo of Freeland. Memorial is Thursday at 9:30 a.m. in the Immaculate Conception Parish at St. Anne's Church. Friends may call Thursday from 9 to 9:30 a.m. The McHugh Wilczek Funeral Home is in charge of arrangements. Helen C. Misto of Hazelton. Arrangements are under the direction of the Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home. Margaret L. Klatch, formerly of West Hazelton. Mass is Thursday at 10 a.m. in the Transfiguration Church. No public viewing is scheduled. The Hillary J. Bonin Funeral Home is assisting the family. Arthur Philip Nagel Sr. of Freeland. Private services will be held from the McNulty Funeral Home. And Florence Helen Rummel of Coaldale. No public viewing is scheduled. The Boyko Funeral Home is handling the arrangements.
My name is Leanne Falabelle. I'm the Vice President of Marketing at the Greater Hazelton Chamber of Commerce, and today I'm going to talk about our Women's Networking Luncheon. We have these luncheons for any woman from throughout Greater Hazelton to attend. We hold them bi-monthly. Our next one will be held on Tuesday, September 30th, and it's from 12 noon until 1 p.m. And in September, we'll be at Plaza Diner. And we always have a guest speaker at our luncheon programs, and our guest speaker will be Wally Iffert, and he is from Integral Investment Group in Sugarloaf, and he's going to be talking about communication skills for lasting relationships. Now, he's just going to touch on any kind of communication skills that can help you in business and in everyday life. Wally's an excellent speaker. We're very excited to have him, and we hope that the ladies that attend will enjoy. And if anybody is interested in participating in the luncheon, attending the luncheon, RSVPing, or even just getting more involved with our women's networking group, they can feel free to either contact myself at the Chamber or go to our online calendar of events at hazeltonchamber.org.
Attention pay-per-view subscribers, if you see your name right now on News 13, you'll have 13 minutes to call in and win a free movie from Service Electric Cablevision. Our winner tonight is Daniela Pompella of Beaver Meadows. Daniela, if you're watching, give us a call right now, 570-455-7267, extension 104.
That will do it for us this evening. Remember, for breaking news, you can go to our Facebook page. Also, our media partner, The Standard Speaker, at standardspeaker.com, and their Facebook page as well. And remember to sign up for text alerts. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.